Metallica on the show. It's Rock 105.3. Today is a free comedy Friday, and we are so excited to have our next guest back in studio, back in San Diego. Michael Rapaport is back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
He's going to be performing at the American Comedy Company. Couple shows tonight, couple shows tomorrow night. Michael, welcome back, buddy.
Thanks for having me. Thanks
you
for
know
having
it, man.
me. I'm excited to be here with you guys. I had a great show last night.
Oh, good.
Oh, nice.
And I got to tell you, every single time I'm in San Diego, I always feel welcomed. I always, I just have a great time every single time I get here.
Yeah, now, is there a town that you go to that you don't feel welcome? Like, do you go to Boise and they're like,
Bad vibe in Boise. What do we
But
got?
I've been here a few times. I think it's like my third time performing in San Diego, and I don't know. It's just every single time I'm just like I love performing in American comedy.
Yeah.
And I feel very warm and
I
welcome.
like that.
So
That's a good
I'm
city.
excited to be
Yeah.
here.
You're in the right spot,
Yeah.
man, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, after your last show on Saturday, are you headed right back home to watch Super Bowl, or what's your plan for the
My
day?
plan is I have a very early morning flight Sunday morning. I'll get there a few hours before the game.
Okay, good.
Decompress.
Yeah.
Stuff my face.
Yeah, gotta do it.
I'll
Gotta do
start
it.
stuffing
Yeah.
my face with chips, dip,
Yep.
guac.
The whole thing. The whole thing.
All sorts of accoutrements.
Yeah.
Maybe assorted meats.
Yeah.
And then I'll sit down like the rest of the world and watch the game. I don't have listen, I'm a New York Giants fan. I also am a
store.
Yeah.
Giants
Very
tattoo.
sad.
Wow.
Very sad.
He's literally saying this is
This
the
is
worst year
the
of his
worst
life.
season I've ever seen in Giants history.
Terrible.
I can't think. It
Unless
started
you're
with
a
the
Jets
draft.
fan.
Unless you're a
the
Jets
Jets and the Giants, it's been terrible.
Misery.
It's the worst, man. It started with the atrocious uniforms they wore for that first game.
Ridiculous.
And it's only gotten worse. And they didn't fire anybody.
No.
Eli didn't get in last night. Saquon, I can't.
Look at him. He's like literally.
Michael, I
he's
can't,
been
dude.
He's
in
beside himself.
Right. They didn't put in Eli Manning.
Yeah.
Right?
They didn't put in Eli.
Right.
But they put in Eric Allen.
Yeah, and Bill Belichick. I didn't know his record was 72-24.
I did see that.
Yeah.
And did you see he was wearing five rings and she had one ring on?
I look at him in a whole different way.
Like respect?
Respect. Like, yo, do your thing, man. The fact that he's coaching a college now is crazy to me.
Oh, it's wild.
Fresh meat.
And it's and North Carolina,
Crazy.
like Bill Belichick.
Crazy. The whole thing is crazy. But it's like now, like when he tries to do his curmudgeony old man, like, well, like you don't talk like that to her.
We know your bit. We know your bit, Bill.
Your bedside manner is
come on,
definitely a lot better than you present yourself. But
You're much more
100%.
cheery than you were putting off.
exactly. But I also just want to make sure that it's clear that the San Diego Chargers should not be in Los Angeles.
Thank you for saying
period.
that. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I
Yes,
will
we
never
know.
accept them in LA.
I know,
I will
nobody
never,
will.
It's really disgusting that you guys don't have a football
Sucks.
team. The iconic San Diego Chargers and all those years, they should be here in San Diego.
Couldn't agree more, Michael. You know, we're screaming from the rooftops, but
Sucks, man.
that's the way it goes. You know, it stinks.
Yeah.
You know, but when we look at the Super Bowl, do you have a dog in the fight? You were saying you're a Giants fan.
I'm a Giants
We hate
fan.
the Eagles.
Hate the Eagles.
us, yes.
I don't hate on Saquon. I'm glad that he did his thing. He there's no way he would have done any of this as a Giant.
That's what I always say,
that's
and I
what I'm
can't stand the tweets anymore, man. All season, the John Mara tweet of him with his head in his hands saying he can't sleep. Like he wouldn't have done this with the Giants. He
No,
just
he
happened
didn't have
to,
the offensive
no,
line.
he just happened to
so
go to
good
the
for him.
Eagles.
Yeah,
So good for him.
Yeah.
It's a rock and a Mahomeboy place because I can't stand the Eagles deeply, but also like I also want to see the crown get knocked off Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and Taylor Swift head, and really. So I've come to terms with what I'm rooting for is I want to see if Taylor Swift really will stand by her man through thick and thin.
Oh.
And I want to see her crying. I want to see her crying.
Oh, tears.
If Taylor, yeah.
And I want to see if, because she's got the best of the best. I want to see if her mascara will run.
Oh.
I want to see.
Yeah. Good call.
I want to see Taylor
Over
Swift
under.
and the Swifties crying.
Yeah.
So I'm going to I'm hedging for the Eagles.
The Eagles.
You're
just for that.
really torn.
Just for that.
Yeah,
Just for that, because
the Swift tears.
aside from I don't Yeah, I can't
You
root
have-
for the Chiefs. And,
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, but
It
it's good.
sucks.
I think for whether you're a football fan or not, it's going to be a good game.
Yeah,
the
I
football
agree.
game itself will be good.
They're the two best teams.
Yeah,
Yep.
they earned it.
Yep.
It ain't easy to get there, as is proven each year. Unless you're the Chiefs, they just
Yeah, they're
make
there.
it.
It's easy
Yeah.
for them.
But the Super Bowl, it's such an American. It's like a holiday, so we get to stuff our faces. Kendrick Lamar, it's going to be great.
So you're a big hip hop fan. I know
Yes.
that. I'm a massive Kendrick fan. Do you think he'll perform Not Like Us? Because
Of course.
there's a lot of backlash with
Yeah.
calling Drake a pedophile,
Well,
which
I
is
mean,
hysterical.
he might change the lyrics. Yes,
So
I'm sure
I
he'll
can't
change
wait.
it.
Yeah, but
It's going to be good. You know, as far as like hip hop, like he's by far the most hip hop act that's performed. Like Dre and Snoop and Eminem, they became these iconic pop stars. Like I know that there's a lot of people in America that probably don't know his songs.
Yeah.
And I don't know if
100%.
there's ever been a Super Bowl like that.
Yeah.
So, but I think it'll be fun. I'm a fan. Like
Yeah,
I
that's
said,
where I'm at because I'm a rock guy.
Yes.
I obviously am aware of Kendrick Lamar, but I don't know his music like Thor
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
And so I'm fascinated to see what the show's going to be.
It'll be good. He performed a little bit with Dre,
Right, with Eminem.
Yeah, with
He
Eminem.
puts on a good show, and,
Yeah, it was
and
cool.
you know, and as far as representing hip hop, he's very positive. Like he's very thoughtful with what he says. Like he's a very good representation of hip hop in 2025.
Yeah.
From what he does. So I think it's going to be a dope day. I think it's going to be
Cool.
It's a celebration. It's a
Super Bowl.
celebration.
It's the best day of the year.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to be stuffing my face.
There
as
you
soon
go.
as I get off. I'm wondering, when I'm on the plane ride back
Yeah.
after my 4 fantastic shows at
Can't wait.
American
American
Comedy
Comedy
Company,
Can't wait.
2 tonight,
Yeah.
2 tomorrow.
I've
you
heard
go.
that.
Should I start stuffing my face on the plane?
No, save it.
No, you got to save it.
No.
You don't want that
Emily's
airport
save it.
food.
offended.
You have to save some
The
tummy
stomach
room.
space.
You only have so much room
Yeah,
in there.
yeah,
Okay, all right.
Yeah, what are you
okay.
going to get? A Jersey Mike's at the airport, eat it on the plane, and then.
See, now we're spitballing.
Okay, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. We're spitballing
It does sound good.
ideas.
Okay,
And the
okay.
San
It does
Diego
sound good.
airport is so San Diego. Like it's
Right. Yeah, you get fish tacos, whatever you
it's
want.
chill at that airport.
Whatever
Yeah.
you want, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Get a burrito?
I'm not
barbecue?
kissing butt. Like when I got off the plane, I'm like, this is so San Diego. This airport. Like you go to other cities like Miami, it's like
Yeah.
chaos.
Yeah, misery.
Atlanta Airport, JFK,
Yeah.
chaos. You
San
get
Diego's
off here,
chill.
We're
it's
chill.
just you get off,
Yeah.
boom, you're outside.
What's
you get
up?
that fresh
Yeah,
air,
it's good.
and you're in San Diego.
Yeah,
so,
no
Very
doubt.
different.
No doubt.
do they have a Jersey Mike's at the airport?
Oh,
there?
yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we might
yeah.
start
No,
early.
Michael,
Yeah.
don't do it.
I'm not
Save
mad
it.
at this.
Save some space.
But the reason why is because you get on the flight early, and then
Yeah.
the time difference. I'm just saying, like I'm going to be watching the pregame on the plane.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
a lot.
And you're
That's
going
a
back
lot.
to New York, right?
Oh yeah,
So that's a
Yeah.
long
Okay.
flight.
It's a decent flight.
That's a 5-hour
Yeah,
flight.
he's got to eat.
Yeah,
Come on,
man's
Emily.
got to eat.
and if
That's
you
what I
can
mean,
eat,
Emily.
like have regret about it.
Yeah.
Like you want to have like
You want to be
eat with-
miserable by the end of the game.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
no, I agree.
Yes.
Michael Rapaport, your career is so fascinating because you span so much stuff.
30
Oh, yeah.
years.
I mean, honestly,
I know, it's crazy.
With just your acting alone, we could talk about.
I was watching you on Friends the other night with my wife.
Well, one of my
Crazy.
favorite movies of all time is True Romance. I've never
Yeah.
talked to you about True Romance,
Yeah.
and that movie alone, like your part in it,
Yeah.
what it became, what it was, the fact
Yeah.
that Tarantino wrote it, all this stuff. Like, what was your experience on that?
Man, I was so excited to audition for that. This was a time where there was no email. I'm pretty sure email didn't
Yeah.
exist. So the script was getting passed around, and Quentin Tarantino was just coming off Reservoir Dogs and Natural Born Killers, and it's like, oh, it's another.
This is the next big thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you'd read it, and then your actor friends would be like, "Yo, did you read it?" And like, "Yo, I'm auditioning. I heard that Christian Slater got part is cast. Oh wow, okay." And I heard that Christopher Walken is cast as the mob guy. Yo, what are we talking about? And then I would audition, and then I finally got the part of Dick Ritchie in the film, and I was as excited as the character was to get cast in TJ Hooker.
Yeah.
Like I was such a fan of the actors in the film and the script and Tony Scott. And I can tell you one thing. I remember going into the casting, and they had the pictures on the wall of who was in it. I remember distinctly at my last audition with the late great Tony Scott.
Yeah.
They had Christopher Walken. They had Val Kilmer's picture. They had Patricia
Oldman?
Arquette. They had Gary. They were all behind me, and I'm like this. I just remember looking like, yo. And I told Tony Scott, I said, "Do not let me leave until I get this right." Like I knew I was gonna get it.
It meant that much to you.
I was so, and then when I got it and the experience, and then this one actor in it, I thought he was going to have a good career, Brad Pitt.
Heard of him.
Heard of him.
Because he was a good-looking kid, and I thought I saw like, yo, this guy has a big future. I don't know really what he turned out to be.
I don't know. I haven't heard of him since.
But the whole experience, James Gandolfini, it was his first film.
Oh, wow.
Terrifying in that movie.
And he was terrified to be in the movie. He was so nervous.
No way.
Oh, really? That's
Was he a
wild.
sweetheart, like off camera?
Totally, but nervous.
Yeah,
Like he was
okay.
like very, very, soft spoken and nervous. And we remained friends, and like all that stuff was special. I didn't take any of it for granted.
Oh, it's amazing.
I had a Polaroid. I shot pictures on the film. I wish I shot more, but it's like now we shoot pictures of everything. But like going into that experience, I remember the whole thing
Vividly.
and every single day was exciting.
That's
So
awesome,
I had
man.
a ball making True Romance, and it's an honor that people still talk
Yeah.
about.
One of my favorite movies of all time.
You one thing I could tell you is you never know what's going to resonate
Sure.
with people or not, and you go into everything hoping, that it'll be something, and some things stink, some things don't stink. But I still go into every project and every opportunity, swing for the fences and
High
hoping
hopes.
for the best all the time.
Yeah.
You must.
Are you ever in something that doesn't hit that you go, that was going to be a no-brainer? Like, what happened?
Tons of things.
Yeah, that's
Tons of
got to be.
things.
And
Tons of
these things
things.
happen
Tons
after
of
you're
things.
done, right?
Yeah,
That you can't control.
It's not clicking. It's not working. As an actor, you're not in control of everything. The editing is so much.
Yeah.
You never know the vibe. But I will tell you, there have been some projects which I wouldn't name. That I knew immediately this isn't going to be what we talked about 3 weeks ago.
I can see that
when we
happening.
were meeting and greeting and having
great.
dinner, like
Yeah.
this is going to be great, and then you get there and you're like, the vibe. It's a vibe.
Yeah, what happened?
But what's crazy, Eddie got me into the show Fallout, and I love it. It's one of my favorite shows in the last 10 years. And then all of a sudden, you're in Fallout
Yeah.
when they take your mask
Yeah,
off.
that was cool.
That was crazy that
And
you
my
were in
man,
Fallout.
Walton Goggins, who I met when we did Justified.
great.
Yes.
Who's one of the
He's
best.
so good in it,
He's
too.
so good, and he's
Yeah.
such a good actor and such a good dude, and such
that's
a
cool.
one-of-one actor. And I worked with him on Justified, and him and Timothy Oliphant. Like, those guys welcomed me and every other cast member in such a ingratiating, cool, respectful way.
That's
and
awesome.
I think it was the 4th or 5th year of the show, and they were like, yo, throw down. Like they and that's not normally the way you could be welcomed. Like they were like, do your thing.
They're the star. They don't want to
They
be.
wanted me,
but
to
they
kick,
wanted
they
you to bring
wanted,
it.
and they gave
That's
me the
cool,
ball
man.
and shoot, and I'll never ever forget. That and not appreciate that, because they made me feel so welcome
awesome.
on their show, and both of them are just badass actors.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
both
they're
of them
great.
are sick.
Honestly,
actors.
Michael, you could go on stage and just tell stories
It's
from your
crazy.
career,
I could
and
listen to this for
I would be
hours.
fascinated
I
by
know,
that.
it's
But
crazy, man.
your show, I'm sure you're going to
Amazing.
slay.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
even know what a Michael Rapaport comedy show is like. I got to go see you, man.
Yeah, and come, man.
Yeah.
2 tonight, Friday, and 2 tomorrow at the American Comedy Company. They're like this. Like I talk, I riff, I have fun, and I
You
try
went viral recently because the right side embraced you and said, "Oh, he's waking up." Look at this. You did a video where you were talking about, wait, what is happening here with COVID and they were like, the whole right went, we got him. He's on our side now. It was hilarious.
And then I'm like, yo, I'm not anybody that thinks we got
You're
him. I'm not, I
political.
don't want anything. Anybody on social media like we got him. I'm like, you got nothing. I'm not a
I knew
blue
exactly
pill or
what
a
you were
red
doing.
pill.
Yeah.
I'm on the Rapaport pill.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
that's the pill I'm on.
That's the pill I like.
Yeah, like we pills and all stuff. But
it's great,
it's a
man.
crazy time.
Yeah.
It is a crazy time.
Yeah.
It is a crazy time. And I like to just ebb and flow. And I think growth and learning is of the utmost importance. Personally, and I'm not afraid to articulate, and I'm not afraid to, say when my feelings have changed, when I was right about this, wrong about that, especially somebody that talks as much trash as I
Absolutely.
I do.
You gotta own it.
You ain't going to be right all the time.
Yeah.
But also, it's also very, very important for me to grow. I don't want to be the same person I was yesterday. I don't want to be the same person I was 10 years ago. I certainly don't want to be like, yo, you changed. I'm like, I ain't 30 years no more. Like I want to change. I have to change, I
appreciate that.
Yeah, you have to.
That's awesome. Go see Michael Rapaport, American Comedy Company. Couple shows tonight, couple shows tomorrow night. Great catching up with you, Michael.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Congrats, brother. Yeah.